Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today I'm going to give you my first impressions of Ikaris and Sersi. Just announced today they're coming to the game, the first two Eternals, and it's very apparent that the Eternals are going to be the new arena team. Now, what we don't know is whether some more Eternals are coming to the game soon. All we know right now is we get these two Eternals to start with. It could be something like they did with X Factor, where they introduced the Dad Bros, and then it took them, a few months to introduce the rest of the team. That remains to be seen. But what's clear is they expect these two to be the new arena meta, probably alongside Dormammu. So if you remember, we had the Dormammu kit recently introduced, and I'm just looking at it right here, and you remember that Dormammu gets a bonus resistance for mystic characters. He's supposed to synergize with mystic characters. Well, these characters are cosmic mystic characters, basically not anything we actually needed. There has been so many cosmic heroes and multiple mystic cosmic heroes, mystic heroes that have been introduced recently. But nonetheless, that's what we're getting. So, right now people have tons of cosmic characters because obviously you have the Infinity Watch, Kestrel, Silver Surfer. We also have plenty of mystic characters right now because we have the new Warriors, and we've got Adam Warlock, and we've got Silver Surfer and Doom and everything. And Dormammu is going to be a mystic cosmic character. So just a lot of characters that are already overlapping here. But these two characters have all over their kit Arena and Dark Dimension tags. Very interesting, because this is the first team ever that I recall in Marvel Strike Force ever having the Arena tag. This is the first team that's going to perform better in Arena, where you're going to have to invest, especially in this team, to do better in Arena. And that really, a lot of times I will tell you guys, new Arena meta, like I said that for Infinity Watch. That was me giving you a judgment on how I think the team's going to do. This is different. This is the game is telling you, we want you to use this team in Arena. We want you to use this team in Dark Dimension. So, we've had Dark Dimension characters in the past. The symbiotes, of course, Symbiote Spider-Man has got a big call out to Dark Dimension. And obviously the Pimtech team is, got all the special bonuses in Dark Dimension. But here, you have two super meta characters that are great in Arena and Dark Dimension. So I think these are certainly characters to consider for DD5, although I don't know, we don't know exactly how much gear they take. So as I'm preparing to race for DD5, I'm not sure whether I'll bring these characters, although I'll consider them. But I think anybody who wants to keep a high Arena rank is going to look at these characters. So let's start with Sersi, Hero Cosmic Mystic Controller. Let's go to her passive. I want to kind of do some analysis here and give you my first impressions. So first of all, both characters have this here, which is if their health is full at the start of the match. In other words, if you have them on war defense, this isn't going to keep working over and over. But let's say in Arena, or if you're using them, let's say in Dark Dimension, and you have them full up at the beginning, the first time they drop below 40% health, all their negative effects are cleared and they get healed up. So that's very much like Heroes for Hire has on their passive, except they don't have a revive. So if they're killed, then they're killed. But as long as they're below 40% health and they live, that happens. I think that's really, really powerful. That would be on top of the revive that Dormammu would give them if you're using him with Dormammu. Then here, she applies defense up for 2 turns to herself and Eternal Allies. For right now, that's just Ikaris. But in Arena, it's defense up for 2 turns for the whole team. That's so powerful. A lot of the reason why we bring Shuri onto a team is just to get that defense up in the beginning, 50% less damage. Well, she just does that in one line of her passive. That basically does a lot of what an old legendary used to do. Here on turn, if not stunned, every turn, she gets defense up for 2 turns and speed up, then chooses a random enemy that has death proof, clears death proof on that enemy, and then applies death proof up to a maximum of 5 to herself and all Eternal Allies. So very powerful there. I mean, this is, to me, a call out to take out Infinity Watch. So the devs made clear when they released this, there's a strike time video where he basically said, this is meant to disrupt the Arena meta, displace Infinity Watch. And Infinity Watch relies on those death proofs. So Phyla-Vell, for example, has, in her kit, right, she is applying death proof to the team. And then when this character has death proof or any ally has death proof, they get drained. So that's where a lot of the staying power, the staying power of the Infinity Watch comes from. This is essentially her and Ikaris are going to be taking away that death proof and bringing it to themselves. Even if Safeguard locks the death proof in place, it still means that her and Ikaris are going to get a lot of death proofs, be very hard to kill. And then on turn, if you have the two of them together, she's going to heal self every turn. And then they both get max health and focus. And in arena, they're both going to get damage. By the way, he has the same damage increase here, so they're both going to get 50% extra damage in arena when they're together. Very, very powerful. On turn 1, she's going to clear 3 negative effects from herself and all allies. But in arena, she's going to flip. This is like the Doc Ock flip. So I said, okay, she's got the best element of the Shuri kit, or one of the best elements of the Shuri kit. Now she's got one of the best elements of the Doc Ock kit. Then she attacks all enemies for 450% damage. And if Ikaris is an ally, reduce the speed bar for all enemies by 25%. And then apply speed up for 2 turns and regen to 2 turns for herself and Ikaris. And in arena, generate 2 ability energy for herself and Ikaris. And apply taunt for 2 turns to the enemy support with the lowest speed. So that's going to be, and we can go here and look. But if we look at the speed, that is going to be, I believe it should be. So there's two supports on Infinity Watch, and that's who this is meant to counteract. So one of them could be Adam Warlock as Adam Warlock is 120, but I think that is trying to target Moondragon first, and then it'll target Adam Warlock second. Yep, Moondragon's first. So that's basically designed to go after Moondragon, applying taunt for 2 turns to Moondragon to get the enemy to focus Moondragon down because she's a healer. Because you're going to take the death proofs out, which are going to take away the drain that Phyla-Vell gives, and then the taunt on Moondragon to take Moondragon out early. Now, one thing I want to make note of is, since she's giving herself and Ikaris 2 ability energy in arena, that means this is every other turn. Because there's a 4 energy cost ability, so it goes down to 0. Basically, every 3 turns, really. Every 3 turns. She's going to start at 2. Essentially, once she uses this, she'll be at 2 of 4, and then she'll be at 3 of 4. So every third turn instead of every 4th turn. Very, very powerful. Very powerful, because this is a massive ability. Her special on turn 2 applies stun. This is like a common thing now, right? These stun abilities. Calls 2 random allies to attack the primary target for 50% additional damage, and then barriers herself and Ikaris for 30%. Max health, essentially the max barrier you can get. In arena, barrier the whole team. Now, one thing I should also point out, by the way, we're talking about support. This team, in my opinion, right now, these 2 characters are designed to take out Infinity Watch. However, Dormammu is also a support. So eventually you may get to, there's always going to be, the point is, even after Infinity Watch is gone, there'll be a support out there. We're going to have a support out there in the enemy team. And so she'll have somebody to put taunt on even after. All right. So very powerful ability here on the special. Here on the basic, copy 2 random positive effects, excluding taunt on the primary target to herself, and then attack. If Ikaris is an ally, flip 2 random positive effects to negative effects. And then apply assist now to Ikaris. More on that in a second. But in arena, she copies all positive effects and then flips to negative. This is super powerful. In many ways, this is, as powerful or more powerful than the Silver Surfer basic. I was, when the Silver Surfer basic came out, I'm like, wow, this may be, the best basic in the game. Well, this, basically what happens to Silver Surfer, he either puts all of his negative effects onto you or takes the positive effects and puts them on himself. Here, he steals your positive effects, or she steals all your positive effects and then flips them on you, flips them on you to negative effects. Very, very, very powerful. And then this is sort of an anti-mind control thing here. Now, what I will say about this assist now to Ikaris, this tells me this is essentially another duo like Corvus and Proxima or Hawkeye and Black Widow, where you have this assist now like Cloak and Dagger, where you want one striker, one skirmisher. And my guess is you're going to have skirmisher on Sersi, and then you're going to have striker on Ikaris because he's a blaster. That would be my assumption, but we'll see once they're released. Now, when you look at his kit, even more of the same call out. So, by the way, he's a Cosmic Mystic Blaster. And then when you go here to his passive, and the same thing where he gets the extra healing when he goes below 40% health and debuff clear. On spawn, he applies offense up to 2 turns to the 2 of them. In arena to the whole team. That's 50% additional damage. Very powerful buff. On turn, if not stun, clear ability block. And 1 random negative effect from self, Sersi, and the most injured ally. So this is their way of dealing with the ability block issue where, you know, that was the big weakness or Achilles heel for Doom, is that he would just get ability blocked. And, you know, in the early days when I had unlocked Doom and had him in arena, people would use like Hela plus, or, you know, Hela or Zemo, where they would take Zemo, put ability block and spread it, that sort of thing. This is to deal with that. And then on turn, if he's not stunned, so stun is clearly the way they want you to control him. If he's not stunned, he gains defense up for 2 turns on his turn and speed up, and chooses a random enemy that has death proof. The same thing, anti-death proof thing that she has, kind of targeting the Infinity Watch. And then on turn, if Sersi, here, you know, Sersi's an ally, heals self for 15% of this character's max health. And then he gets 30% armor and gives it to Sersi as well, 50% resistance for him and Sersi. And then they both get, as I mentioned before, 25% damage. Now, here's what's interesting here is, unlike Sersi, his ultimate, for example, is at full strength outside of arena. So even whether he's in arena or Dark Dimension or not, he attacks all enemies for 400% damage. And if he kills them, he gets a second attack for 400% damage. If she's an ally, he flips all positive effects and negative effects on all enemies. Very powerful. 500% extra focus. And then if she's an ally, he gets this extra piercing damage and reduces speed bar by 25%. Same thing here. Very powerful. Can't be dodged or blocked. Super, super powerful ability. Available. And then he's going to be getting, of course, as we know, ability energy from her. So he's going to be doing this quite a bit. Special, also available turn 1, attacks the primary target for 420% damage and clears death proof. All 5,000% extra focus, attacks adjacent targets as well. And then if the target blocks, he has this piercing attack. So, you know, for example, if you're going against Captain Sam and he's got a lot of deflex, it'll keep bonus attacking here. Then he puts 2 death proof on himself and Sersi, and gets an assist from Sersi and from another ally. So once again, you're going to want to have one as striker, one as skirmisher. And then his basic attack, also bonkers, you know, attacking the primary target for 280% piercing, and then 2 more times for 200% if she's an ally. And then he's either going to give her offense up or regen, depending on her health, and applies assist now to Sersi. You know, I've got to say, this is insane. This is absolutely nuts. These characters are supposed to be meta-defining. In arena, that will be bonkers. I think in terms of other game modes, it remains to be seen. I assume they're going to be very viable in Dark Dimension. The question is just going to be the gear cost. You know, if these are very expensive characters to gear, you won't see them as much in Dark Dimension. You know, because people just won't have the gear in the short run. But I'm sure they will do very well there. But in terms of arena, I definitely think you're going to see Ikaris and Sersi in the arena as soon as they're available, and you're probably going to see them at first with characters like the New Warriors, right? Like Cloak, Dagger, Deathpool. Maybe you'll see Doom. I don't know. You know, characters like that. Maybe Omega Red. Who knows? But then once Dormammu's here, they're going to run with Dormammu. So it's going to be Dormammu, Ikaris, Sersi, maybe Doom, Deathpool, characters like that. We'll have to see how that looks. But one thing's for sure. If these are not characters that you're going to want to skip, these are characters you're going to want to obtain. We don't know exactly how they're going to be released yet, but we do know the next patch is right around the corner, coming up this upcoming week. I'll be focused on the race for DD5, but in the meantime, we'll be, looking on how to get these characters as well. All right, guys, if you like this video, Smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel. If you've got questions, comments, complaints, you're angry, you're sad, you're happy, leave your comments below. Or you can go to my Discord. That's linked below as well. We have a lot of good conversations there. You can also check out my Twitch stream. That is linked below too.